Right, folks, this is a very late edition of For Fox's Sake. The problem is when I work at the weekend and Leicester play on a Saturday, I don't get the time to watch the game on the Match of the Day highlights, and then to do the game on a Sunday when I come home. It's, you know, family time kind of thing. So, you know, you have to do what you do. Anyway, this is it now. First of all, I'd like to pay tribute to the fans who paid tribute to the boss, Vichaya, on the Saturday. The flag, the flags and the scarves and the walk, the march, really great pictures and touching tribute to the man. He'll be forever a Leicester lad now, and his family and all that. Really, really great scenes, and you know, quite touching. And the 60th minute when all the scarves went up, it's outstanding, you know, and hopefully other clubs appreciate what he did for a club like Leicester, and it gives other clubs, teams such as Burnley and all them, the inspiration to believe that a smaller club such as Leicester can go on and win the Premier League, and you know, all the other clubs that have got all the money, the Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal, and you know, all those teams, you know, it proves it's just not those that can win it. You know, you get it together, and that man, you know, he did it for Leicester, so fair play to him. I also want to say a thank you to 100% LCFC. They are a fan-based, Leicester fan-based group of lads who have their own channel on YouTube and Twitter and Instagram, so thank you. I did a bit of a podcast interview with them the other day. So if you've not seen that, just look up 100% LCFC and you'll see my big fat moon face there being spoken to and having a chat about things. So back on to the game. You know, first of all, I just want to say about Maddison. He you know, he came home from the England squad and because he was ill. I don't know how true that was. Apparently he's left the England squad, he's come home, and he's been and seen Leicester's club doctor. They've given him some treatment, some tablets, some drugs or something. Legal drugs might I add. And they made him feel better. I also heard that, like most England fans, the other day when they watched the England game, they only basically watched the first half and then switched off. I know I did. I'm an England lad, right, through and through, but it was just abysmal. So I think I turned over at half time. I think many people did, and I think basically Maddison watched the first half and then went out for a couple of bets. I mean, all right, granted, I suppose he could have done it on his tablet, on his phone, or whatever. But so what? You know, I think, you know, a larger percentage of England fans did that, and I think there's also something underlying there with Maddison. I don't know what it is. I don't know what he's done to Southgate or Southgate's done to him. There's something there that's not right. But anyway, back to the game. It was great to see. I mean, I already watched the highlights on Sky and I've watched the highlights on Match of the Day. And, you know, it is good to see Leicester being patient, building, not rushing things, not thinking, oh God, we've got to have a shot. Oh God, let's just pump it into the box. Oh God, let's just, you know, they are actually building a game. You know, they've got a plan, and they're just passing it around and waiting for the opportunity. And Burnley do pack the defence. I mean, at one point, I think they had about 23 players behind the ball. And, you know, there was not a lot of option for Leicester, but they just kept the ball, passing it, and then putting the cross in. So it is good to see, you know, and they're also on the thing about set pieces, on corners and free kicks and stuff. You know, granted, I mean, when you've got somebody like Maddison who can strike a ball, he will go for, you know, the free kick, top corner kind of thing. And so can Tielemans and that, but they don't. They do try and mix it up. So clubs are not expecting the same thing time in, time out. So you know, it was really good to see. Only on the highlights though. Just going through my notes, folks. Just coming down to Tielemans. Well, I've seen him a couple of times this year, and he seems a little bit off the pace. He's trying, right, which is what I like to see. And most fans at a club want to see a player try. If it's not working, if it's not happening for them, they still want to see them try, and that's what Tielemans has been doing for me. And you can see on the highlights, and I think he actually got man of the match as well. He's trying, and he's coming back. He was. I mean, me and Ginge seen the Brighton game last year. First time I took her down to a football match, and she loved it. And you could see Tielemans. He was running the show. He blah blah blah. 40 million when you think about it. If he keeps going like he is doing, it's going to be a bargain, an absolute bargain. And apparently, Pochettino at Spurs turned him down. Fool you. I like to see, yeah, so Tielemans is done, and it was a good goal, really good goal. It's good to see Barnes as well. He's still battling, he's growing, he's learning the game, he's learning the trade. You know, if he loses it, he gets stuck in. He don't just like throw his hands up in the air and waltz around and stuff like some players that you are seeing who are playing for so-called bigger clubs. It was great. Great to see. I mean, he battled well. He got the crossing for the goal for Vardy. And just talking about Vardy, with this situation with Colleen Rooney, you know, I sometimes seem to think that, I'm not saying keep women out of the game, right? Because the women's game is coming on leaps and bounds. But wives who, you know, I mean, I don't understand all this thing. I thought she was a friend and all that. It's just shut up and let the lads play the football. Let your husbands go to work and that's it, right? But I will say, for all the fans who are not Leicester fans who might be watching this, you keep having a dig at Vardy. You keep singing at him. You keep taking the piss, mate, and you keep doing it, lads. Because what he'll do what he does the best. And that is score goals. And he defends, he shuts you down, and the more you sing at him, mate, about his misses, he won't like it, and he'll try even harder. So keep it up. So back on now to the game. I think Leicester defended really well. As I've said, I've only seen the highlights. They look all right. I don't really know what the hell was going off for Wood's goal, but you know, to keep defending and keep a team out all the while like Burnley, they do, you know, get stuck in. And I don't know what happened with the goal, really. It's just one of them things, weren't it? And Woods scored. Woods could have had a few more, but I can understand why Leicester let him go. And I don't know the political reasons of what I've heard about what Woods was up to. Yeah, I can see why they did let him go eventually, or in the end, because he is a good player and he does get stuck in that. But yeah, he could have, if he was any good, he would have scored a couple more. But on to the end of this, the VAR thing. I think VAR is a good thing for the game, but it's got to be used in the right way. Everything that's going off now, a player disputes something, it's to get the referee, and he's getting it, and it's taking the edge out of the game. I think, see, this is in hindsight now. What would Evans have cleared the ball? But we never know, because when all said and done, contact was made. Evans could have swung the leg. He could have tried to clear it and got it before the line, before it crossed over the line. It could have happened, and just because, I mean, they were saying on the telly on Match of the Day, Neville, the thick one out, the pair of them, the one who did the balls up against Romania for England. Oh, what a mess that were. You know, he's saying, oh, well, it was going in anyway. Well, that don't make it all right. You can't just say, oh, it was going in anyway, I'll just kick him in the back of the head. You know, you've still got to have rules and that, just because it's going in. And when all said and done, Woods did clip him. There was contact. It stopped him from at least making the attempt to clear the ball off the line. So, although I can understand what Sean Dyche is saying, you know, it is there. He did clip him. And apart from that, you know, you've got to look at the things like the Leicester game against Manchester United, the penalty. Now, it was a soft-hearted penalty. There you go. Was that really a penalty? And then you've got the one where Albright did Manny, whatever his bloody name is. What are the other stupid names? Why can't they have proper names like Smith and Jones and all that? You know, and he went down like he trod in a bear trap. You know, you've got to start thinking, well, if it's going to happen against Leicester for that, it's going to go the other way. And during the season, it will happen for Burnley as well. I mean, the offside against Spurs, you know, when all's said and done, right, all these managers can come out and they'll say, I'm in favour of VAR, but when it actually happens, they're not. Now, if he was offside for a millimetre against Leicester, the Spurs player, I can't remember who it were, he's offside. That's it. So I don't know what you're going to do. It's one of them things. You can't say, oh, well, it was just a millimetre. It's just his shirt badge offside. Well, let's have them say that then they've got to be level, or if they're in line, if they're a certain part of the body, it's got to be looked at. VAR has got to be looked at. I personally think you should have 3 appeals each half. And that means 3 each half. If you don't have any in the first half, you can't have 6 in the second, right? There's something like that. You've got to have 3 each half and go from there. It's a tough one. I do like VAR, but at the moment it is complete bollocks. Leicester had the thing about the Wolves game, didn't they? I mean, they survived that. And that was, you know, the deflection did enable him to create a goal. You got the goal disallowed for Liverpool against Manchester United, Manny again. His arm did help him, you know, it helped him control it, and the game is called football. The one as well when he tackled him from behind in Manchester United game, he did kick him, but I think the problem there was his first touch was shit, and he lost control of the ball, and that's probably why he kicked him, because the ball was his first touch was shit. So, I don't know, but there you go, folks. That's this edition of For Fox's Sake. Hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully I'll be able to see the game on Friday night and I can do another For Fox's Sake at the end of that. If you do like this, please let me know. And if you don't like it, please let me know. And I'll still continue doing it because I enjoy doing it. All right, folks. Laters.